there, Kimmy Chanel, and today what I'm going to be talking about is how to start your business with zero inventory. Okay, so let's get to it. A lot of you guys been reaching out asking me, how do I start my business if I don't have enough money? Or I don't have any money for advertising, I don't have any money to store inventory, I don't even have a place to put the inventory. Well, I'm basically just going to be going through and telling you guys like how to start your business with zero inventory. So basically, if you want to start a business with zero inventory, you're going to be looking at starting a drop shipping business. So for a drop shipping business, that means that the supplier, which is your vendor, which could be in LA, New York, or even as far as China, has all the inventory in stock. So when somebody places an order on your website, you relay that to your vendor and they ship it directly from the warehouse instead of you having to have it at your house, storing it in a storage container or whatever you're going to be doing, and then you going and shipping it yourself every day. So when it comes down to starting a dropshipping business, what you mainly need to do is 3 steps. First, you need to find out what you want to sell. So finding out what you want to sell can be hard, it can be difficult, but you need to pick something you're passionate about. It's very bad to sell something or want to sell a particular item because you see everybody else doing it. Because when you have a business, every day not going to be like your $1 million day. So you're not going to be making money every single day. And when you're not passionate about something and you see that you have to actually work on your business and you're not making the money that you want to make, you'll give up if you're not passionate about it. I'm going to tell you that right now. So first, find what you're passionate about and turn that into your business and the item that you're going to sell. Second, you need to find a good vendor. Okay, so finding a good vendor is tough because there's a lot of scammers out there. I'm going to be real. It's a lot of people that say that they could sell you something or they have the products in stock and they don't. So you're dependent on them to ship something to your customer and they don't even have it. Or they just take your money after you pay them and you get nothing. So basically, to find a good vendor, you should definitely do research on the vendor. Research meaning you should ask if they have social media accounts, and you can also video chat with vendors. So if you ask them, can you see the factory? They'll send you pictures, videos, and you can even look at the factory yourself via WhatsApp. And plus, side note, download WhatsApp. If you're going to be talking about going and finding vendors that are in China, you're going to need WhatsApp for sure. Because I don't understand anybody who would want to call China with a regular phone service provider at all. It's too expensive. So after you find a vendor, which you can do, I'm just going to suggest you just get my vendors guide because I already have the vendors in there and I have dropshipping vendors as well, as meaning you don't need any inventory. And they're all legit and tested by me. So definitely. And after you find what you want to sell and then you find your vendor, 3, you need to focus on getting your website and your logo made as well. So for websites, I would definitely recommend Shopify. I do build them, but if you would like to, if you have like web designing experience and you're able to make the images yourself, I recommend Shopify because it literally has everything you need in one. It has marketing, it has Facebook and Instagram advertising because you will need to advertise. If you do not advertise, you will not get sales. Advertising is like the bloodline of your company, to be honest. A lot of you guys, you cry and you're like, oh, why am I not getting any sales? Nobody knows about you because you don't advertise. Point blank, period. So after, you can use Shopify because it has everything built in. There are even like some plugins you can use that will like help you when it's time for you to print your labels to give them to the vendor so that they can ship out the products. And then for a logo, I recommend you using appropriate colors and themes that will go with your brand. When you think about a brand, please think about everything that encompasses a brand, which is who are you exactly selling to. It appeals to your target audience as well as who are you trying to get to buy your product. So for a logo and branding on website and even your social media accounts, you're not going to sell glitter to somebody that's like 50 years old. or you're not going to sell something that's like super plain to the younger, trendier crowd, such as if you want to open your boutique and whatnot, and you want like a Fashion Nova boutique, as in you're selling to like the trendier, younger girls. You're not going to sell something monotone and boring. So please think about your branding when you incorporate your logo and your website as well. So basically the 3 steps you need to take that I would say are the most important is finding what you want to sell and what you're passionate about. And when you're also doing that, remember to conduct market research. Make sure what you sell is something that people will actually be interested in buying. As in, don't try, even though you might be passionate about something that was hip or something that people was doing like 3-4 years ago, if you try and sell it, nobody's going to buy it because it's not what's in. So always conduct market research along with finding something that you're passionate about selling. You have to incorporate both so that you make a good judgment on what you're going to sell, because you don't want to have a lot of products on your website that nobody cares about anymore and you talk about you're going to sell them. That's not going to work. And 2, you need to remember to find your vendor. Finding a vendor can be difficult, but I already took care of that for you mainly. But some tips about dealing with the vendors would be to always pay in PayPal, so that if anything does arise, you can just file a dispute and get your money back. Always pay vendors via PayPal. Don't cash out them. Don't wire transfer. Don't use Zelle. Okay, y'all. So a lot of y'all may be wondering what the pros and cons of drop shipping may be. Some of the pros, I'm going to tell you right now, will be that you don't need a lot of inventory to start your business. So let's say, for instance, you want to start your business tomorrow. Let's say, like hypothetically, as in you found your vendor, you have a website up, and you just want to start drop shipping. You can do that because you don't need to order inventory and you don't need to wait on it to come. Some of the cons may be, though, that you have no quality control over what's being sent to your customers. Since you're trusting a vendor who may be in China or LA and all those places, you literally don't get to see what they send before they send it most of the time. Although some vendors, you can ask them what does the packaging look like, such as if they're sending clothes for you because you own a boutique and it's a dropshipping boutique, you can say, can you send me a picture of what's in the box before they send it? But still, there's that little percent that it may not be what the customer gets. Another con would be you are in danger of trusting a vendor that will try and steal your customers by leaving their branding and their pricing that's cheaper than what your boutique offers or your hair business offers. I've seen it happen many times that vendors actually don't put your business information but put theirs to try and steal your customers. So to avoid that, what I would say do is build a relationship with your vendor so you know who you're trusting with your business. If you're serious about starting a business, it should be like your baby. Like, you're not going to just give your baby to anybody. So why should you just pick any vendor and just trust anybody to drop ship and that they'll see through the orders are fulfilled in a timely manner and etc. You have to build a relationship. Building a relationship looks like you're texting your vendor, you're calling them in China on WhatsApp or on the phone, you're asking them, so do you have any specials this week on anything? What is like, this is like X, Y, and Z, and yada, yada, yada. It's a whole process and conversations you can have with your vendor so that you can build a relationship so it's less likely they'll burn you. It's a whole couple steps you could take as well, such as you can make sure that your vendor is sending out the proper things by always asking for a picture before they send anything. You can also take some steps and precaution by reading reviews on drop shipping vendors before you even sign up with an account. Another good thing would be is to ask your vendor various questions, such as how long do orders take to process? How are the orders being shipped out? Is it DHL if it's from China, or if it's a US based vendor? Is it FedEx, UPS, and all of those things? Also, pay attention to the cost that it will cost you to ship something. So ask about the cost, like how much would this order cost? especially if it's a vendor in China. You want to make sure that you're not going to lose out on money from them having to send something to the US. You want to make sure that you're not going to lose out on money, basically. So always ask those questions. And you can always ask them for reviews and ask, do they send pictures when they are like done packaging your order? Like, do you guys send pictures, and can you also send me a picture of the tracking label so that I can upload it for my customers and update it? And those are some of the main questions I would ask a vendor so you can avoid being burned. So even though you are going to have a dropshipping business, since you're starting with no inventory, obviously the smartest choice and the only feasible way you can do that is dropshipping. I already went over what dropshipping is, but the easiest way for you to start a business with zero inventory or a little bit of money and etc. is dropshipping. So even though you're going to have your dropshipping business, it would be smart of you to order samples and have them on hand. Having samples on hand doesn't mean that you need to order an entire store or collection of merchandise. It just means that you need a few pieces of hair or a few pieces of makeup or a few pieces of clothing so that you can model it or take good pictures of it so that you're not using stock photos. And it also helps build up your brand, especially for hair businesses. If you're going to drop ship hair and you don't have any in stock, how are you going to show this to your customers? Because using the pictures and the videos that vendors send is not going to provide any type of branding or building trust with your audience to make sales, to be honest. I don't understand what this obsession is with using vendor videos and pictures. Why would you let your audience know that you brought something for cheaper overseas and then you're trying to sell it to them for more money? Plus, people are hip and they know that vendors are everywhere, basically. You can find a vendor easily, so you don't want to expose who's sending you hair and who's the vendor behind your business, because your customer are going to try and find that person themselves. Stop using stock photos, okay? For instance, I have a bundle of 9A straight hair. I don't have a hair business, but for my vendors list, I always make sure that I took time out to purchase different samples from vendors. So whether it was a hair business, makeup business, or even clothing, I've always purchased samples from vendors before I added them. And anybody I've had a good experience with, it usually works out pretty well in my opinion. But of course, that's a case by case basis. Of course, when you dealing with Chinese vendors, it can vary. Sometimes they're slump orders, sometimes they're not. So sometimes your orders can be processed a little slow, they can be processed fast, this and that. But just for my records, I've always tested vendor hair. So having some samples on hand like this, just a disclaimer, I do not sell hair, guys. I don't sell hair, but I test it so that you guys can start a business so you don't get stuck in a 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5s are like prison, basically. So, anywho's, I make sure that I test the hair, and having hair on stock will look like this. This is a bundle of hair. So instead of taking the time out to steal a photo from a vendor and using it and have a Chinese hand doing this and that, I will take this bundle, and I made a post about this on my Instagram page, and put it behind a fuzzy rug and buy a little lighting kit for $50 off Amazon. And I'll take my own pictures. You have hair in stock to take your own photos. You have hair, you have makeup samples, and you have all of that in stock, which have it on hand so that you can take your own pictures, and you can also do tutorials. So for instance, a tutorial that will get you a lot of engagement on your Instagram, Facebook for hair would be me to take this bundle and wash it and show you proper hair care technique. As I'm demonstrating that I'm an expert in the field, so that you can build brand awareness as well. So also having makeup on stock. This is a really great vendor. She's located in the United States, guys. She's the first to the right on the vendors list for cosmetics, I believe. I'm not going to give her name out, of course, but she's on the list. So if you brought it, she's at the top. She's located in, I think, Missouri, but her makeup is top notch. So these samples, if I were to do a beauty business, I would be photographing them at home using a cool background, such as like a fuzzy rug and etc. And maybe a cool lighting kit as well. Yeah, that's what it's called, a lighting kit, and I would use that. That's why I say have samples on hand so that you can take your own photos and your own videos. And if you really want to stretch out, since if money's tight, you can just literally take pictures of the products that you're going to be selling that you order, because I always say, even if you're going to have a dropship business, have some stuff on hand, and you can send it to influencers. So you can find an influencer and send them some cool like lip gloss or whatever and tell them take a picture for me and etc. These are the same ones that you use to take a picture of, so that you don't use stock photos on your website and your Instagram and your Facebook. So you send them to somebody else and it looked like you had a customer, you had somebody who has like a lot of followers wearing your product. So there you go, 2 birds in 1 stone. So that's even more reason why you should not be using stock photos and videos from vendors. Okay, for clothing, I have a very big box right here. Because you know, when I say I'm testing, I'm always testing out stuff. And I'm always ordering stuff from China. So I'm going to show you guys what it would look like to test out clothing from a vendor. So testing out clothing would be, I have like a really cute dress and another dress and another dress, all from a vendor in LA. So if you have a drop shipping business, even if you have like a US based vendor, what I would suggest is you have some of these items, you buy them so that you can send them to influencers and they can model them for you so that you can use them on your website. You can also use them on your Facebook and Instagram, such as new inventory alert, and do all of that crazy and cool stuff with them. So just because you have a drop shipping business doesn't exclude the fact that you should have some inventory in stock so that you can take pictures. When I say inventory, I'm not talking about go out and buy like a million dresses. You can literally sample or purchase 1 dress. A lot of the vendors that you guys have access to through like my vendor's guide, the cost is only like $12 to $20 something a piece. So if you brought 1 of these and then 2 more like different pieces, that's under $100. And then to ship them to vendors, you put them in like, you can put them in like an express box, a priority box, and then you can ship these for like $10. So for $100 something, you got samples of clothing so that you can look at the quality of the clothing yourself. You have a few pieces on hand that you can send to influencers so that you can add the pictures to your website and your social media. And you basically have some branding authority with your business. This all costs around a little over $100. If you have a boutique, of course, that's a drop shipping boutique. So there's no reason you should be looking to use stock photos from vendors. That goes to boutiques too. Don't have a new boutique that only has like 49 followers, but you have like popular people like Amor Jada and Ari modeling your stuff because you done took a stock photo from a vendor that they done stole from somebody. And then you wonder why you're not getting sales. Your page probably looks like spam. You have a bunch of people and stock photos and it doesn't look real. Even if you're drop shipping, at least put in the effort to order a few pieces when it's time to get new inventory and like send it to influencers and send it to whoever else. Take the time to do that. It will help your page look better, and it will also help you have some type of quality assurance because you will be able to feel the quality, like you can feel everything. And no, you don't need 100 dresses. You don't need to go spending $10,000, not even $1,000 to feel what you're selling before it gets to people. Because I'm going to tell you right now, people unsatisfied, they're going to want their money back. So you took a big L all because you didn't order anything. Even though you have a drop shipping, still take time to have a few pieces on hand. Also, when you call yourself having your business and everything, especially your drop shipping business, what I would suggest you do is always take the time out to pay attention to what's selling and what's not selling when you open your store up. If you have drop shipping, always pay attention to what products aren't selling and then try and figure out why so that you can swap them out for another product. So guys, I'm Kima Chanel. I'm signing off. Don't forget to subscribe to me for more business tips and all that other great stuff. I'm just trying to help everybody out day by day, because you notice when I started my business like a couple months ago, I was working in this field for a long time, but it was more like 9 to 5, and I quit my job this year in March, and I launched my business in May. So what made me quit my job in the first place was that I went on a trip to Paris, and I just honestly felt like I have to request time. I'm grown, but I have to request time off from an employer, and I felt like it shouldn't be that way. I'm here all day, every day. So why should I still have to request time off? And there was a lot of other politics, and I was just like, I want to help people that don't have access to like quality business help. Because you know, business consultants usually, and even Facebook and Instagram advertising agencies, they usually run you $1,000 or better. So the price is up there, so I decided to like help women in particular start and market their own businesses so that they could be their own boss. That's what I've been trying to do, inspire a generation of leaders so that people can travel whenever they want. You don't have to miss out on your kids' life and so much more. That's why it's important to know different things about different aspects of business, because when I first started, I had basically no free help. Like I had to pay for coaches and mentors, and I was in a mentorship program like the one I got. So I'm just making these videos because I understand that it can be hard, you know. So yeah, subscribe to your girl, and if you have any questions, please drop them below about drop shipping or anything else. Just drop them below and I'll answer and get back to you. Thank you guys.